All right, man, I'm taking off the headset, so if you need anything, just text me or something.
Chad Carr, the youngest son of Annie and Jason Carr,
Where can I get those?
athlete with an inoperable brain tumor. So tonight, we are asking you to help see the Carrs through this difficult time.
Here, try again, miss.
You help spread the word and spread the love for this little boy. We are asking all of you to use social media to get
I'm not hearing anything so far if you're
We're
talking.
asking this community to send all its energy, support, and encouragement to the Carr family. Chad needs a miracle. We can hope that the more who know about Chad, the more this miracle can become a dream come true. In honor of Chad's 4th birthday today, please join the marching band as they play Happy Birthday to Chad.
I'm standing by, miss, just waiting to hear back.
That is activation power.
Tonight is being formed by the Foundation for Saline Area Schools and special guest Mayor Brian Morrow. If you have not had a chance to visit the patio, please do so tonight, as there are fun activities for kids and food provided by Dan's Downtown Tavern.
Ladies and gentlemen, Saline Area Schools is proud to present the Saline High School Marching Band. Introducing drum major Matt Evie. And drum major Tyler Connors. And now, join the cheering Hornets on the victory with
I told you, yeah, I think so.
Garrison, waiting you to help us slow down from here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hornet Stadium for tonight's Southeastern Conference football game between the Kicking Mules from Bedford High School and the Saline Hornets. Here now are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, introducing the offensive starters for Bedford. At left tackle, number 75, Grant Mazzala. Starting at left guard, number 66, Jake Stark. Starting at center, number 64, Jordan Casper. Starting at right guard, number 50, Jared Dawson. Starting at right tackle, number 55, Jacob Wexler. Starting at tight end for the Mules, number 6, Matthew Phillips. Starting at split end, number 13, Dylan Barr. Starting at fullback, number 36, Justin Strickland. The left halfback for Mules, number 22, Austin Jankowski. Starting at right halfback, number 16, Derek Shepard. And the quarterback for Bedford is number 12, Thomas Shepard. The head coach for Mules is Mr. Jeff Wood. Now here come your 2014 Saline Hornets.
Mike, do you hear me? Mike. Almighty. Mike, do you hear me?
Introducing
Mike.
the starting defense for tonight's game.
Mike, do you hear me?
At defensive tackle, number 97, Brandon Novis. At defensive tackle, number 95, Brian Hicknell. And the defensive end, number 23, Sean O'Keefe. And the defensive end, number 91, Colin Payne. And your inside linebacker for the Hornets, number 10, Chris Turk. Inside linebacker, number 14, Bring it quarterback, number 2, Tyrone Miller. At the other quarterback spot, number 21, Cal Kreiner. The starting safety for the Hornets is number 13, Travis Brown. In his own season as head coach of the Hornets, Mr. Joe Parker.
It's a busy night here at Saline. This is a big-time game tonight as the Bedford Fighting Mules at 2-2 overall, but 1-0 in the SEC Red visit Saline. Saline 3-1, 1-0 in league play, and of course, this could be, as we've been discussing for a few weeks now, looking ahead on the schedule, might be the game of the year in the division, and might be, in fact, the game, unless something happens unforeseen, one that could decide who wins the division this year.
Yeah, absolutely, Ira. I think that this is the game of the two marquee schools in the Red Division. I don't think there's any choice. Monroe is still right there, but I think Monroe may be more of a pretender than a real threat to either one of these two teams.
And
now, they dominate the rest.
We'll find out about them next week.
Yes, we will. But the Hornets out in their bright gold jerseys tonight. Would you call that gold? Or?
Yeah, that would be maize gold. I'm not sure what you call it.
It's a little more maize than Michigan's yellow.
Yes, yes, it is definitely not the highlighter yellow that, hold on, let me look. I have a highlighter in my hand.
No, not quite like
Michigan maize. So they'll be in the yellow jerseys, the gold jerseys, white pants, and of course those two-tone helmets. And the
very easy to read numerals.
Yes, absolutely. They're great for you. And then across the way in the white uniforms with the red trim and the red helmets, the Temperance Bedford Fighting Mules. Is this big game between Saline and Bedford here tonight. The game of the week on 1290 WLBY.
These are two teams that we'll see a real offensive contrast tonight, Ira. We're going to see a team from Bedford that lines up. They line up shoulder to shoulder. They don't have any splits in their offensive line generally, and they just are a power football team, and that's what they like to do. Coach Wood has been there for a long time. I don't think there's any reason to think he's going to change it tonight. And he's going to go against all those great offensive weapons that the Saline Hornets have, starting with Gross and Polka being outstanding contributors, along with Cole, and of course the two quarterbacks, Jackson and Tyson.
So we're ready to go, just about ready to go. There's 15 seconds left on the clock. We're ready for some football, a little bit of an emotional pregame ceremony in honor of Chad Carr, Lloyd Carr's grandson, Timmy, and Jason Carr's son, who, of course, members of the Saline community, and we'll talk a little bit about them later as the new Chad Tough Fund at Mott has been established, and you'll be seeing bracelets and a lot more about that.
Really a nice, cute young kid, same age as my second youngest grandchild, and they get along great, and he's been over to the high. You know, that's just a sad situation.
Yeah, it's
but
been
if
a
everybody
sad
says their prayers,
Saline football family,
that's right.
That's exactly right. Say those prayers, and there's no transition to talk about football from there, so we just will as we're getting ready for kickoff. It's going to be number 11, Brad Williams, a junior kicker for Bedford, kicking from left to right. As we're underway here in a big-time game in the SEC Red. Here's the kickoff, end-over-end, deep kick, caught in the end zone, and that's going to lead to the touchback. 1st and 10 for Saline. Obviously, 12 minutes to go in the first quarter with the first possession of the game coming up.
If that is any indicator tonight, Ira, we're not going to see any kickoff returns tonight because we know both teams can pump that thing into the end zone. And it's a very, compared to the last time we were here, Ira, it's a very calm night. No wind.
Oh, no doubt. It seems like it's been a while since we've been here. And the last time we were here, we were not here very long, at least not for football.
Last time we were here, I didn't have electric for 3 days afterwards.
Trent Tyson, the senior quarterback, is going to get the first snaps tonight. He hands the ball up the middle, and that is going to be Gross, who fights across the 20 to the 23-yard line, maybe the 24. So Gross for about 3 or 4 to get things going on the ground for Saline.
Very conservative start there for the Hornets.
2nd and 6 from their own 24-yard line. Tyson with 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. His running back is to his left. There's a quick snap and a throw down the sideline. Wide open down the sideline is Chris Mercer, the wide receiver. He crosses the 50 and over into Bedford territory, marked down at the 47-yard line.
29 yards on the first pass play of the night for the Hornets, and they're picking up right where they left off against the Pioneers last week.
Now at the Bedford 47-yard line, right back to the line. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. There's the call, the whistle in for the play. Fake handoff. Now Tyson keeps it. He runs up the middle, and he is brought down, and he fumbles it. And Bedford, after one big play by Saline, Bedford recovers the fumble at their own 46-yard line, and that's the first turnover of the ball game. Ball just stripped out of I believe it was in his right hand. The ball just got stripped out as he was fighting for trying to just get back to the line and through the line of scrimmage for maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain.
Yeah, I think he got hit pretty hard. The ball got hit hard with one of the Temperance helmets, and Bedford will come out now and take over on offense, as you said, Ira, at the 46-yard line. And watch these splits. Look at the splits in that line.
And they're even looking to make sure they get closer. I formation, everybody up tight. Man in motion is number 22, Jankowski. There's a fake handoff up the middle, and the quarterback's just going to keep it. That's Thomas Shepard, and he fights across the 50 to the 49-yard line of Saline. Five-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
I would think if they're able to hold the kicking mules tonight to somewhere in the area of less than 250 yards on the ground, it'll be a good night for the Hornets.
Tight I formation at the Saline 49-yard line now for Bedford. There's a snap, and there's the fake handoff up the middle. It's going to be a wide pitch outside, and there's a big open run. There goes number 16, Derek Shepard, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bedford.
Whoa, that happened quick, huh?
There's an option to the left, a fake up the middle, an old school, obviously, triple option football. And you see the guy, there's no contain on the outside, and Marcus, that's just assignment football right there.
Oh, that's just flat out assignment football. And give credit to that offensive line.
I was going to say the offensive line, Marcus. That was it, baby.
Because really you couldn't tell who had the football on that nice fake. And then he had to pitch, and all you needed was a hat on the hat.
Boy, and nobody stayed home on that outside linebacking core for Saline on that one.
Marcus, we appreciate you coming back up from the minors, from BTN up here to the majors on the high school game of the week on 1290 WLBY.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Marcus has been a busy man this week.
Marcus is here slumming it a little tonight. But Marcus, I haven't had a chance to see you since that outstanding performance that you gave in the Miami-Michigan game.
Well, you groomed him well.
I thought you did very, very well.
Al, you and I were both, man. Just, the team effort. Just making the most out of an opportunity.
But I'd like to know why you look so good on TV and you come here looking like a bum off the street.
There's the extra point. It's up and it's good. The score is 7-0 Bedford. 2 plays. They go 2 plays, 54 yards, and it did not take them long, Al, at all to get those points on the board. That tight, compact I formation brings the entire defense together, and nobody on the outside, as we were just discussing, keeps that contained. And Bedford obviously is going to give that back to Saline.
I have to eat my words now, Ira, because I said that the Hornets were picking up right where they left off last week. Not so.
Well, first of all, the turnover led to the points.
Yes.
And, as I was walking in, I watched it. Looked like Saline really could have kept that offensive momentum going if they would have threw another pass right when they got to midfield right here. But they had the advantage to the field. They were lined up in trips. And I don't know if it's a run-pass read for the quarterback, but I think there were too many guys in the box for Bedford
Right, and then the Bedford helmet hit right flat on the ball.
Ball secured.
Pushed it out.
Huh?
That's right.
Well, the second kickoff of the game is the second kickoff from Bedford to Saline. The ball is lined up by Brad Williams on the right hash mark. He looks over the Saline returners and ensure that he's counting numbers, right, Marcus? Make sure 11 guys are out there on the...
Somebody better do it. They're cautious.
Well, we know it. 10:33 to go here in the first quarter. Not even 90 seconds in, and we have the first score of the game.
Yeah, and we have a shell-shocked Saline crowd here.
Here comes the kick. Once again, end over end. Palka back to the end zone. Ball bounces down in the end zone, and it's going to be a first down for Saline at their own 20-yard line.
No kickoff returns tonight.
Unless we have a sudden gust of wind that's not expected.
Yeah. No, we had the wind the last time we were here. We don't need it again.
No. Yeah, Marcus, you really missed out on the last time we were here when we had the lightning storm and the weather, and you really missed out on that one.
I was in Chicago, man. I barely got home from the airport.
Yeah,
And the power went out.
Let's see, the last time I saw Marcus, I saw him on the high school show replacing Rob Rubin.
Oh, there you go.
You saw that.
And you looked like a gentleman's quarterly guy out there with your tie and jacket. Boy, you look good on that show.
All right, gentlemen, we have one receiver right one to the right, one to the left with Josh Jackson now at quarterback. He calls for the snap. There's a fake handoff. And right down the sideline, that's going to be a pass to Cameron Cole. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Saline. And just like that, back-to-back offensive plays, touchdown in Marcus. On the previous drive when Saline had the ball the first time, they found Mercer in a similar location. They might have found a soft spot in that defense for Bedford.
And you know what? That's what I was talking about when I said that Saline really could have went back to that same play, because athletically on the perimeter, I just don't think Bedford can match up. They're a man-to-man defense. And then you get a play-action read, wide receiver running by himself, and they're right back in it.
That was an 11-second play, Al.
Yeah, well, now we've played that 90 seconds, and we got a 7-6 game.
Think of it. He was in the backup kicker for much of it. Comes in and kicks the first extra point, and the score is 7-7. So we went from the 10:33 mark to the 10:22 mark, and it's now a 7-7 score.
And that happened so fast I didn't even notice. Was Tyson still the quarterback?
No, that was Josh Jackson.
That was Josh Jackson. Okay, good. Thank you.
He had the play action in there, and he looked to his left, and this time, instead of it being Mercer on the left side that was open to make the completion in the run, this time it was Cameron Cole. And once he made it, you realized there was not a very good angle. And for a guy that's played safety, you've never been in that situation where you look up and see where there's no chance you're going to make that catch.
No, that never happened to me. But the thing is, people say it's a game of inches. It's really a game of angles and leverage.
Right.
But you have to know, as a defensive back, to break to the reception point and not the man, because he's not throwing you the ball. He's throwing it to another guy somewhere else on the field, and that's where you got to break.
Well, Cole caught that 80-yard touchdown pass, Ira and Marcus, and we didn't see much of him last week. He was pretty quiet against the Pioneers.
Yeah, they spread the ball out to a few different receivers last week. I think he might have 1 or 2 catches, but yeah, definitely not one of the main targets. Palka get a lot of work, and he, according to the Ann Arbor News stats, he's the leading receiver in town right now in the area. Here's the kickoff from Saline. That ball is going to go into the end zone halfway deep, and of course we have a touchback, so Bedford gets the ball. 10:22 to go in the first quarter, and it is a 7-7 score.
Well, the Ann Arbor News, Marcus and Ira, told us as I was reading the articles from the experts, this would be a tremendously defensive struggle here tonight.
He kind of had a little intonation like your former coach, the way he said that. He sounded he's a little angry about it.
Hey, the last couple of years of watching Bedford, I've always thought that teams would have more success if they would open it up and throw the football.
I agree.
The problem is you just don't have enough time sometimes to throw the ball. But I think I just haven't been sold on their coverage concept.
And Marcus, also when you look at their division, there's certain teams in their division that don't usually have the players that can take advantage of it. Saline, on the other hand, can. Here's the first play, and it's a handoff straight up the middle on the triple option for Bedford. And running back number 36, Justin Strickland, goes up the middle for, looks like, 2 yards.
And right back to called an outside veer. It's a triple option, but it's an outside veer with the way they block it. And really, if he would have pulled that one and pitched it again, that was a touchdown.
Well, what I've seen in Bedford through the years is other people tend to play to their game. And you can't do that. You got to keep it open and run your offense. And we got a lot of offensive weapons on this Saline Hornet team.
2nd and 8 from their own 22-yard line. Once again, the tight eye formation for Bedford. There's the fake hand up the middle, and there's a pitch wide. And once again, Derek Shepard down the sideline, 40 to across the 50 to the Saline 45-yard line. And Marcus, that looked like a repeat of the touchdown run on the play before.
Yeah, and that's why I just said the last play, if he would have pitched it, you would have saw the same result. But give Tyrone Miller, free safety, a lot of credit for saving a touchdown right there, because that was a disaster. But what Bedford is doing, they're running an unbalanced formation to the wide side. So that means they're outnumbering Saline's defense. So they're sliding over, but then they're running it back to the short side.
They're definitely a well-prepared football team.
A tight end to the left, a couple to the right, plus the receiver right, and the 2 running backs behind quarterback Thomas Shepard. And there's the handoff straight at the middle, and he just darts through for 5 yards, make it 6. And that was just like a missile coming through. 6-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 4.
It hit so quickly because when you run that midline right down the middle, that form of a triple option, you let a defensive lineman go, but then you put the offensive lineman on a linebacker right now, Ira. And next thing you know, you got 8 yards or 6 yards. It happens that fast.
The center breaks the huddle. Now the rest of the Fighting Mules break the huddle. They're at the Saline 39-yard line. Now it's wishbone formation behind quarterback Shepard. There's the handoff up the middle. No, he fakes it. The quarterback's going to keep it, but he can't escape the pack that he ran right back into. And that is going to bring up 3rd down. It looks like they're going to give him a gain of about 1.
Well, Brian Pickle stepped right in there, Marcus, and he broke that up right in the beginning, and they were going nowhere with that play.
And that's what you have to do versus an option team, is get penetration right now. You can't let those linemen get second level, and your linebackers have to play downhill. You can't stand and watch. Play with your eyes, but move your body.
Wishbone formation once again for Bedford on 3rd and 3 from the Saline 38-yard line. Thompson fakes up the middle, fakes the handoff, and then keeps it right up the middle. So what Saline's really doing with that tight formation is they're not letting him escape once he makes the fake handoff. He's not allowed to escape to get to a chance where he breaks contain on the edge. So the quarterback keep is a gain of about -1, and that loss of 1 is going to bring up 4th and 4.
Give Sean O'Keefe, number 23, sophomore, 6'4", defensive lineman, just made an excellent play in the backfield. And that's the thing, like you said, Ira, if you can get the quarterback right away, either while he's faking or right after the fake, it's a dead play.
And that's what they've done now 2 plays in a row to break it up. They haven't had a chance to run anything wide. They've had to go to the middle with it.
Watch for play action pass here.
Thomas Shepard, the quarterback, back under center with I formation behind him. 4th and 4. And there's the fake, and it's a quick pitch on the outside. And Derek Shepard gets the pitch, and he is tackled at the line of scrimmage. And maybe he picked up a yard, but they needed 4. That's going to be a turnover on down.
They battled it up that time, and as you mentioned earlier, they watched where the football was going that time, and they bounced it outside, and the linebackers were able to contain it, and they caught him for no gain.
Excellent defense for the Hornets. Stayed at home, defensive back, stayed on the pitch man.
That drive was actually the longest drive we've had of the game so far. 7:07 to go in the first quarter. Shotgun for Josh Jackson, a quarterback for Saline. He hands the ball right at the middle, and that's going to be Gross, who almost had a gap for about a 5 or 6 yard gain, but he's tripped up after just 2. That's Gross for a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
That Bedford defense closed fast on that one, Marcus.
Yeah, they collapsed because they have a lot of guys in the box. See, when you look at this formation, they're outflanked in the passing game, so don't be surprised to see Saline go vertical or run a bubble because they have the advantage on the perimeter.
And they add to it by putting Palka in motion. He catches the ball. He has to make one guy miss. He does. He crosses the 50 to the 46-yard line. And what they did, they added one more guy to that side that already had the numbers in their favor by putting Palka in motion from the running back formation. And then they threw, I guess, a flare pass. It's not quite a bubble since it came from the running back position. But that was a nice pickup for Palka.
Yeah, that's a glorified toss sweep. And when you bring a guy in motion, you see, when you watch college football, teams like Oregon run that. And that's what they did against Michigan State a few weeks ago, is add one more guy.
Jackson keeps the ball. He runs right at the middle. 40. Makes another guy miss with a hurdle. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Saline.
I'm looking right down here, right in front of us, Fred Jackson, and proud dad, sitting there with Ryan English and every former coach. It's funny when you see former coaches, coaches watching a kid play. But that was an excellent run. Zone read key. Offensive lineman pulled, got up on the linebacker. Jackson finished the deal. Not known to be much of a runner, like a true running quarterback, but he is mobile and showed he could do it right there.
The extra point is up. It's good. 6:13 to go in the first quarter, and the score is now 14-7 Saline.
Certainly not lacking any offense here. That's for sure. Saline is already up. Saline's already got 180 yards of offense.
Well, what they've done is bounce back after that crucial turnover.
Yes.
Way to respond. 2 drives, big plays. The Mules have to tackle people. You're going to have to get guys on the ground.
Well, 14-7, Ira, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter yet.
What did you guys say about the defensive struggle that some were predicting?
That's what they, no, that's the experts at the Ann Arbor.
Well, I said what some were predicting. I guess that could still come to fruition. We would just have to see no more scoring from this point on,
yes,
pretty much. All right,
but,
the score is 14-7, guys.
I'm not betting on that, Ira.
Quite some fireworks so far. A couple of big explosive plays for Saline. 80-yard touchdown on a 1-possession play on their second possession of the game to tie the game at 7. They get the ball back after the turnover on downs, and on the third play from the scrimmage, 47-yard touchdown run on a quarterback keep by Josh Jackson, and they now have the lead with 6:13 to go in the first quarter. Here comes the end over and kick. That ball's just in the end zone. You're seeing maybe it won't fall, no, just in the end zone. And that is going to be a first down for Bedford.
Crucial drive coming up for Bedford. They want to go a length over the field.
Yeah, they stunned them with that sweep on that touchdown run, but boy, they've held them in check since.
Bedford needs to incorporate a play-action pass and loosen up the box and get some of those guys out of there.
Well, they only pass 6 or 7 times a game, Marcus, which can be to their detriment. Because if they fall 2 scores behind, they're not really a catch-up type football team.
All right, Bedford comes back out. Their last possession, they had a turnover on downs. We'll see what they do on this one. Bedford gets to the line. That's going to be a quarterback handoff up the middle. He breaks through the tackle. That's going to be Justin Strickland. He gets out to the 40-yard line. We'll see where they mark him down. And that was a run right at the middle, Marcus, to the fullback, and he broke through that time and was able to pick up a big gain out to the 39-yard line, 19-yard gain.
Yeah, those Hornet linebackers have to be careful when you start to crowd the line because that mid-line dive option happens so quickly that you just won't see it.
Well, you got to give him credit. He sliced right through the hole that was there and hit it really quick.
Once again, a tight formation. No real tailback this time for Bedford. Now they put that guy in motion. That's Derek Shepard. He gets a quick toss after he goes in motion, and he's tackled. Nice play there defensively by Saline after what looks like about a 2-yard gain.
Tyrone Miller took on the block first, then came off and made the tackle. Otherwise, we were looking at another big run.
And I don't know if a player that excels so much on defense can be the area player of the year, but I'll tell you what, Miller is certainly looking to get some votes for that.
And my partner, Sam Webb, was thinking about coming to the game tonight to check out Mr. Miller, but he was knowing Bedford's style of play. He said he's not going to get a lot of work in the pass game, so he decided to go to a game, to a different game tonight. And here he is getting some work in the run defense. Yep, this time he gets in the action in the run defense. On 2nd and 7, there's a no handoff, kept by the quarterback, and Saline gets into the backfield, and they force a loss, and that's going to bring up 39-2 as the quarterback couldn't straight but continuing in the backfield.
And he didn't really have a good grip on the football either. I think he did what Marcus said. He protected that football rather than try to make some kind of an evasive play.
Well, Slattery did his job, stayed on the quarterback. Negative plays really slow down what this kicking mule offense is trying to do.
This is definitely a passing play for
39.
See if they can do it.
39, one receiver right. Everyone else is packed tight in. Here goes Thompson in motion. Shepard in motion. There's a fake to him. The lefty throws it over the middle. The lefty quarterback, Shepard, throws it over the middle. And that's completed and across to the Saline 40-yard line. Tyrone Miller late trying to make a swipe at the ball to force a fumble. but that was a nice throw and catch with Shepard on the throw for Saline.
Actually, all 4 guys were wide open.
Yep.
You could have took your pick. Really, the running back on the backside who he faked the toss sweep to, he was wide open down the sideline on the throwback. Excellent throw for Shepard. Great catch, too, and you move the sticks. And
Not real good secondary coverage that time that we're used to seeing out of the Hornets.
well, that's what play action pass will do to you. It'll really get you out of your coverage lane.
And they did.
Get your eyes in the wrong place. Guys running all over the place, wide open.
Strickland in the backfield behind the quarterback Shepard. Derek Shepard, the running back, is on the wing on the right. 1 receiver left. There's also a wing on the left. And now there goes Derek Shepard in motion to the left. It's a handoff up the middle. That's going to be Strickland, who's met at the line of scrimmage. He fights forward to a hair across the 40-yard line, but that's going to be a 1-yard gain.
Nice job by the Hornet front 7, being disciplined, winning at the point of attack.
You know, the thing about Bedford's football program, guys, is that they have more coaches on their team than some of the teams in the area have players. They are just loaded. Last time I counted, they had 18 coaches.
It's a long list.
That's a long list.
Second and a long 8 or a short 9 for Bedford at the Saline 40-yard line. 1 receiver left, 1 to the right. I think it's the first time in the game we've seen them slip 2 receivers out in the game.
Yeah.
And we have a whistle, and that's going to be a timeout for Bedford. So that's going to be a quick 30-second timeout. So we'll take a timeout with them. That's a 30-second timeout with 2:47 to go in the first quarter. The score is 14-7 Saline on the high school game of the week on 1290 WLBY.
Home safety is the set.
Well lighted and only one.
Reminder that the tickets from our rained out game will be added to tonight's drawing.
Second and 9 play for Bedford. Man in motion. Thompson now throws it wide to the man in motion. The other Thompson, Derek Shepard catches the toss. That is a backwards pass. That is a run play, and that is going to go to the 36-yard line.
As we were informed last week, Ira, at Pioneer, there is no such thing as a lateral. It's a backwards pass.
That was a backwards
You
pass.
got corrected, Marcus.
Well, a lateral.
A lateral is dead even.
Which is true. Because if you take in a job field, if you make a lateral move in the workforce,
Going straight across.
If you take a backwards move, then you're looking for a job.
3rd and 5 for Bedford at the Saline 36-yard line. There's the handoff up the middle for Bedford. He's met at the 35-yard line. Fullback gets just 1-yard gain.
That third down's going to.
4th and 4 for Bedford. And they're right there in that go-for-it territory.
They're 0 for 1 tonight on 4th down tries, and obviously it's going to be another 4th down try here.
It comes down to play calling. And you have to line up in a certain formation, which gives you an advantage, but you need 4 yards, 4 legitimate yards, 1 play for 4 yards. And you're an all-running football team or a triple option team.
And you know sooner or later, Marcus, they're going to come to the right
See the
side.
feast of famine.
4th and 4, I formation for Bedford. There is the handoff up the middle, and that ball, no, it's a fake up the middle.
Yep.
Shepard is going to cross to the 30-yard line, and he needed 4. He got 5. Quarterback kept it a nice keep on the triple option there, Marcus, and that picks up the first down.
Yes, that was a great offensive play for the kicking mules.
And I knew they were going to come back to the right, Marcus.
The quarterback sold it.
Yep.
Everyone on that left side, they tackled the fake. But the timing of that play was impeccable because he pulled that ball out just in time.
Very impressed with the Bedford offensive line so far. They are really running their assignments almost to perfection.
This is going to be the 9th play of the drive for Bedford. There's 45 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Bedford from the Saline 30-yard line. Tight I formation once again for quarterback Thomas Shepard. There's the fake up the middle. Shepard follows through the offensive line. At that point, he cut through off tackle, and he gets to the 25-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain.
See, essentially, when the quarterback keeps the ball, the guy he faked it to, the fullback, becomes a glorified lead blocker. So he's going to draw attention because people think he has the ball, which may take 1 or 2 guys. So you can block 1 with 2 just by giving a good fake.
Well, as we come to the end of the first quarter, Marcus, I wanted to mention one thing before we go to the break. Saline's only ran 6 plays on offense. That defense has been out there a lot.
All right, we're going to step aside, take a break. It's in between quarter breaks, so it's a 1-minute break. We'll come back for second quarter action. The score is 14-7 Saline, but Bedford is threatening. You're listening to the high school game of the week on 1290 WLBY.
Now enjoy Wendy's Kids Meal.
Down and 5 for Mules as we start the second quarter. Across the 20. This was the spot right up the 20-yard line. That's good enough for a first down. Slattery ran him out of bounds. For the Hornets, 1st and 10 Mules at the Hornet 20.
Starting at the 6:13 mark of the first quarter, so they've been just turning clock right now. Here's the snap. Shepard's going to keep it after the fake, and he is going to maybe get a yard. It looks like they're going to spot him for a 1-yard gain, and that's about all he got.
I think that play busted right from the beginning, didn't it? I don't think he got a good snap on the football.
I think the center got a little bothered because of the linebacker standing up in the line of scrimmage. And what you may see coming up here is another glorified toss sweep or a backwards pass or something where you line up in a tight formation and someone will go in motion and you can attack the perimeter right now.
Thomas Shepard, the quarterback, ran over to the sideline, got his play from his coach. Now he gets his team into formation. There's a fullback behind him. He has a wing to his left, a receiver to his left, and a wing to his right as well. That wing is Derek Shepard, who goes in motion and he fakes the toss to him, but it's a handoff up the middle. And Strickland is going to gain, it looks like about 1 yard there, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8.
His linebackers did a great job of not buying the toss sweep fake, because that would have taken them away from their run responsibility on that fullback belly.
With the play calling that Bedford's doing here tonight, Marcus, are they susceptible to a screen pass?
If it's in their arsenal, but I think it's hard to run a screen out of a triple option look. Teams that run the triple don't really have a true screen in their game, but don't be surprised if they pull something off.
3rd and 17 here is a play action. Shepard's going to look to the end zone, and it's incomplete. He had his receiver, Dylan Barr, had a step maybe, but the throw was a little bit out of his reach, and the lefty, Thomas Shepard, throws the pass incomplete into the end zone, which brings up 4th and 7.
It's hard to roll right, square up, get your
Yeah.
shoulders, and throw back across the middle. But once again, the throwback to the running back Shepard was there. The defense was full. Saline needs to cover better on the backside, but good defense in the red zone.
Took a little over 14.5 minutes out for our first incompletion of the game. Granted, there have not been a lot of throws.
First
as
one.
we have a 35-yard field goal attempt from dead center in the middle of the field. That field goal attempt is up and good. Really nice kick for Bedford. That ball had plenty of distance, and that is going to be a 35-yard kick to trim Saline's lead to 14-10 at the 10:18 mark of the second quarter. That was a 7-minute, 55-second drive.
That was a long one.
14 plays, 80 yards. That was a really nice drive by Bedford, but that bend but don't break thing for Saline, I'm sure they'd like to have gotten off the field a little earlier, but they didn't give up a touchdown despite being on the field for so many plays. It was just a 35-yard field goal.
That's a win for the defense,
Yes.
especially with this high-powered attack. The Hornets going vertical, getting huge chunks of yards. See, when you get huge chunks of yards, it lessens the potential for bad plays, something these guys down the street and Schembeckler Hall haven't figured out. If you get big plays or you start on a short field due to create turnovers being created, then you don't have to put a 12-play drive together and settle for a field goal.
Bedford's breaking their kickoff huddle. Their kicker now, Brad Williams, is marching off his steps from the ball at the 40-yard line. It's on the right hash. He's getting ready to kick off to Saline. And those kick returners standing at the 5. Just going to guess they're not going to have anything to do here. There's a kickoff end over end. Running back into the end zone is Palka. He catches it, but obviously he's not taking it out, and that's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Saline is going to try to take their score and make it a 2-score game. A touchdown here would be big for Saline.
No kick return yardage tonight.
Oh, these kickers are putting the ball all the way back beyond the letters. And that helps the defense out.
No sign of the wind doing anything either. That flag is still hanging.
Those flags are very still. Very still. 1st and 10 for Saline, and it seems like forever since they've had the ball. It's going to be Jackson once again at quarterback. So Tyson had the first series, and it's been Jackson ever since. Granted, they've only run 7 plays. Here's their 8th play, but they're up 14-10. There's a screen left to Palka, who gets to the 25-30. 35, cuts back in and out by the 38-yard line. That's going to be an 18-yard play on a swing pass out of the backfield to Palka.
Great block downfield by Chris Mercer, number 7. He was in the slot. And you can't run a swing pass or a bubble pass if you don't have wide receivers that block down the field.
The thing that impresses me, too, about Polk is he gets a lot of yards after catch.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Jackson. There's the handoff up the middle. Gross is tripped in the backfield at the 35-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 3.
Well, Christopher August-Mastiak just broke through there, unblocked that time, and tackled him in the backfield.
2nd and 13 now for Jackson and the Hornets. He sends 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. He has his running back Gross to his left. He drops back to pass. He looks left. That's going to be Gross out of the backfield. Gross is met at the 38-yard line. He's down there, so it's going to be a 3-yard gain.
Good defense on the back end and making a tackle in space. See, I think Saline has an advantage when they stretch the field. When they try to dink and dunk, that plays in the Bedford's hands in their favor, and they get more guys to the football.
3rd and 10 for Saline. Here's the snap to Jackson. He rolls right. He looks deep down the sideline right. He looks for Palka, and Palka gets his hands on it at the Bedford 40, but there's 3 defenders there, and the ball falls incomplete.
That's Thomas Shepard playing that free safety, ball hawking, making plays. That ball could have been caught if Shepard didn't crash into the wide receiver, but that was a good defensive series for Bedford.
That was an excellent defensive play by Shepard back there on that one, Marcus, as you said. That ball was very catchable, but he had the timing perfect on it.
Saline scored on 2 explosive plays in the first quarter. Otherwise, they've been short with the ball. A turnover in the first possession, and here on a 3-and-out. Here comes the punt for Saline. Very high kick. Fair catch called, and a great bounce for Saline. Another bounce for Saline inside the 15 to the 14, and it's going to roll dead at the 13-yard line. Heck of a punt for Saline.
That's what punters are supposed to do. Flip the field.
Yep.
The punt return, man, if you're going to wave it off, understand you've got to catch that football.
That's right. That's right. He would have been better off to stay back where he was and see where the ball was going to hit than to try to run up and make a running fair catch on the ball.
49-yard punt. It was only in the air for probably about 30 of that at the most. It got 2 great bounces.
It wasn't in the air very long, that's for sure.
A lot of hang time as far as height, but not a lot of distance. But those 2 bounces were probably about would double the actual length of the kick.
The ball hit the point just right.
You got to field that punt. Save your offense and field position.
Bedford starting at their own 13-yard line, 1st and 10. That's 2 men in motion, and there go the flags. Both wingbacks thought that they were supposed to go in motion, and obviously one of them would be incorrect.
The Canadians were here 2 weeks ago, not tonight.
And they played by American rules.
No 2 men in motion. That's right.
No, a couple weeks ago, Sam and I talked to Eric C. Campbell, who spent a couple years plus with the Alouettes up in Montreal, and a little confusing, a little different. And that's a very pass-happy league because they only have those 3 downs to make plays. All right, the ball's moved back to the 8-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and 15 for Bedford.
Can't have miscues in this area of the field, getting way behind the sticks.
Inside 9 minutes of the first half, 14-10 is the lead for Saline. Here's the man in motion, then the snap, handoff straight up the middle. Straight up the middle.
Oh, nowhere.
And it's going absolutely nowhere. Correct. That was Strickland up the middle off the handoff from Thomas Shepard, and he is met and stuffed. And that is going to be a gain of 0.
2nd and long. Got to be careful with your play calling here. I don't really think you try to get the first down. I think you get some breathing room so you can try to punt the ball because the turnover down here will be costly.
Yeah, I don't want to put the ball in the air with a 2-stick play coming up here, Marcus. I just let's just take a chunk of it and see what happens. And if you don't get it, then you take another little chunk and kick it.
8:10 to go and counting now for Bedford. 2nd and 15 as they snap the ball. Shepard rolls right, throws right, and there's a throw to the 15, 16, 17-yard line. That's going to be enough to make it 3rd and manageable after it could have been very 3rd and long.
Good play call, good execution. Now you can dial up a 3rd down play. I'm expecting triple option quarterback keep.
They give it a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, I think you're right, Marcus. You're going to see the triple option, either pitch or quarterback keep.
Brings up 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 here for Bedford.
That secondary,
8-yard gain.
Yeah, the secondary that Saline has, I don't think I want to put the ball in the air quite this deep.
Wishbone formation right now behind Thomas Shepard, the Bedford quarterback. Very tight. Everyone is inside the box here. Very tight on both sides. And there is the play fake, and then Shepard's going to keep it. He gets out for a 1st down and out to the 25-yard line. And Marcus, this is what you've been talking about. If they put everybody, all 11 guys for Saline or for Bedford on offense, are all packed in tight between the hash marks, etc. Saline comes in very tight too, and they took advantage of it this time.
Yeah, and I knew they were going to run some form of the quarterback keeping it because he gives you that
that's their bread and
ball
butter.
in space, that guy with the ball running after a good fake, so there's less guys that can go attack the quarterback as well.
And that appears so far to be their bread and butter play, Marcus.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, everybody tight inside the box there for Bedford. Handoff is straight up the middle, and it's not going to go very far. That's the one thing that I probably wouldn't do with no motions outside or anything like that with the running backs. No potential of a fake to keep it and go outside. Running it straight into the teeth of that defense is going to net just about what they got, which is a 3-yard gain.
Well, it's a positive play.
It keeps the defense honest in there too.
Tight I formation, a wing back to his left, a receiver to the far left with quarterback Thomas Shepard. Bedford has it 2nd down and 7. There's the quarterback keeper on the option right. Again, he gets it across the 30 to the 32-yard line, and that's going to bring up 3rd and short after a 4-yard gain or maybe 5.
We've seen the fullback dive to hit for a couple of plays, but it's just really designed keep the defense honest, stay out of a negative situation. But when that quarterback starts pulling it, Bedford wants to stay in 3rd and 3. They don't mind 3 yards.
Good. Oh, they like this.
This is a high percentage first down opportunity for them in their minds.
They might even come wide side this time.
3rd and 3. One receiver left is Dylan Barr. Tight eye formation behind quarterback Thomas Shepard. And here's the play, and there's the handoff straight up the middle. And he muscles through and darts through just... No, the ball came out, and that's a fumble recovered by Saline.
I did not see that.
Yeah, that was a big-time hit.
Yeah.
So after the big hit, Saline gets the ball back at the Bedford, let's see where they mark it, the Bedford 37-yard line. And that's going to be a first down for Saline after the second turnover of the game, the first one as a takeaway for the Saline Hornets.
And I'm not sure he ever really got that ball handed off. Do you, Marcus?
No, he had it.
Did he?
Yeah, and he had a first down, too. And he just had 2 guys on him, ripped the ball out. It was a solid hit.
Saline in the shotgun. Josh Jackson, the quarterback once again. 2 receivers right, 2 to his left. Drops back to pass. 3-step drop, looks, nobody open. Now he tucks and he's about to run. And there he goes. 35-30. 25, makes the guy miss, cuts inside. Now he goes wide. 20, stiff arm. And he goes out of bounds at the 16-yard line. A lot of interesting movement on that play, and he gets a big pickup on a scramble for a first down for Josh Jackson.
You know who he looked like on that play? Braxton Miller.
He did, didn't he?
And the way I'm serious, the same jersey number, he's rolling around.
He's looking back, he wanted to throw it to somebody, but I know I can outrun these guys.
20-yard gain on the quarterback scramble. 1st and 10, Saline. There's the quick handoff to Palka, who cuts inside. Nice cut. He steps out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Palka's got nice feet, man. He makes those quick cuts. Great job at the right side of the offensive line. Reach blocking to secure the outside.
6-yard gain down to the 11-yard line. 2nd and 4. Marcus, I know when you played high school ball, you did like those little slippery guys that were hard to get your hands on, low center of gravity.
Yeah, I used to knock those guys out.
Gross gets the handoff. He goes right at the middle. Powers through one guy, then a spin down to the 5-yard line. First down after a 6-yard line. 6-yard gain.
Second effort is what I was impressed with. He had 2 hands on the football in traffic. Used the spin move, picked up another 3 yards. Excellent run.
No way Gross was going to fumble that football.
Gross to the right, 3 receivers left. Jackson gets the snap, and there's a quick whistle and a flag.
I think they moved too quick.
False start on the offense. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 10.
That gives Mr. Jackson a little more room to work by moving him back.
Well, when the field gets shorter, you can't go deep. So these offenses need a little bit more wiggle room. Quarterback draw, possibly out of a 5-wide set.
Jackson comes for Palka in motion. It's a fake jet sweep to him. Jackson keeps it. He gets inside the 5 down to about the 3-yard line.
Fake the jet sweep. Quarterback power, backside guard pull. When they spread you out like that, it creates run lanes right up the middle.
I think we're seeing the real emergence of Josh Jackson here.
Here comes another fake handoff, jet sweep. And it's going to be Jackson keeping it, and he dives across the end zone for a touchdown for Saline.
Well, they put 20 points now with the extra point coming up. That's a lot of points to put on Bedford in a big game like this.
5:05 to go here in the first half. That was just a minute and 18 seconds on time of possession.
Well, when you turn the football over and you give up big plays, you're going to give up some points.
That's right.
5 plays, 37 yards. The score is now 21-10 Saline after that field goal is good.
What?
All right, guys. guys. 21-10 is the score with 5:05 to go. Always nice to hear a little flavor of the band. That's why I like Sundays, don't get me wrong, but there's something about Saturdays and Fridays when you get a little bit of extra when that band is playing. Always a good time. And so the Saline band's having a little fun right now as they've scored 21 points here to Bedford's 10. Saline's going to kick off here. 5:05 to go in the first half. A high school game of the week on 1290 WLBY.
And you know it's a big game, guys, when the visitors in this league bring their band.
Oh, yeah. So that student section over there for Bedford was rocking earlier.
They've been silenced with this last touchdown. They cut it to 14-10. They've been silenced a little bit as we get the kickoff here to start the next possession. That's going to go into the end zone. There goes the whistle. And at 5:05 to go in the first half, Bedford gets another possession. They're going to try to trim Saline's 11-point lead.
Well, they're going to need to hit some big plays because to go 80 yards in 5 minutes running a triple option, it's going to be tough unless you can make some plays like they made in the first drive. But I think defensively,
they did it in 30 seconds the first time.
I think Saline now has it figured out.
Yeah, I think so too.
And Bedford also does get the ball first to start the second half. So it's one of those, you make sure that they don't score to end the first half from one side or try to score from the other side so that you can
keep the ball as long as we can for the rest of this half.
You got to understand,
and maybe we'll get a break and get some points on the board.
I think Saline would take a no score the rest of the way because they know they have to kick the ball off. They do not want to let Bedford on the board and give Bedford a chance to score back-to-back possessions. All right, here we go. Bedford's next possession, 5:05 to go in the first half. Quarterback Thomas Shepard's under center. He fakes this on a reverse. Instead of the fake up the middle, that's going to be a reverse to Austin Jankowski, and he is tackled at the line of scrimmage, so the reverse was there, but the defense was not fooled.
Yeah, they stayed home and played discipline, read their keys, backside linebacker, made that play. No gain. Excellent defense.
Well, that kind of play will really frustrate the offense for Bedford, will it not, Marcus? Because they've been setting it up all night, and they come back now finally with a reverse, and it goes nowhere.
Yeah, that's a great point, Al.
2nd and 10 from their own 20-yard line as Bedford breaks their huddle. Dylan Barr is split out wide. Tight eye formation behind quarterback Thomas Shepard. He takes the snap. He keeps it on the fake, and now it's a wide pitch left, but met out there. Great defensive play by Cal Kreiner, who kind of duped the quarterback into making the pitch, and he was ready out there on the option pitch.
Yeah, that's called a cat and mouse. when the defender is toying with the quarterback on the option, and you don't know if he's going to take the quarterback over the pitch, that's called a cat and mouse technique. And that's exactly what he did. That's why he was able to defend the quarterback and then make the tackle.
And as you said, Marcus, you think they have it figured out a little bit now.
3rd and 7. Bedford has the ball. The clock is now under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. And what Bedford doesn't want to do on their side is give the ball back to Saline after 3 and out, because Saline, as we know, can score quick. Just like that last possession, they only took 1 minute and 18 seconds. All 3 scores have been quick in different fashion. 3rd and 7 from the 23-yard line. Shepard drops back to pass. He throws right, and that's a sliding catch at the 29, 30-yard line. He slid right at the sticks, and they're going to give him the mark at the first down. It looked like it might have been about a half a yard short, but they are moving the chains. That's a first down.
He got a good mark.
7-yard pass, first down.
Got a good mark on that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a great spot. It's hard to really see, but from up here, that official standing right there.
Yeah.
In college football, that would have at least been looked at. It may not have been overturned, but it would have.
They look at everything in college football.
Well, extra.
They look to see if the quarterback has a hiccup or not.
The extra part of it. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line now after that pickup. 10 yards gained on this drive by Bedford. This is their 4th play. We're now at 3 minutes to go, and they're not in any hurry to do anything, it doesn't seem. Tight eye formation. Thomas Shepard gets the snap. He pulls the handoff from the fullback, and he pitches it wide. Tyrone Miller's there to meet the running back who gets the pitch. That's a 5-yard gain. Derek Shepard was on the receiving end of the pitch from Thomas Shepard.
Dylan Stewart didn't get a great block on Tyrone Miller. Otherwise, that play would have went more than 5 yards, but 5 yards is not going to get it done in this 2-minute situation.
2.5 to go now in the first half as Bedford is getting some substitutions. Saline getting a few substitutions of their own.
But on 2nd and 5, it gives them everything in their book, Marcus. And we better dig back to the back pages here.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. First time we've seen 3 wideouts for Bedford in the game. They have 1 fullback behind the quarterback, Shepard. Shepard rolls right. The lefty quarterback continues to roll. Now he turns, and he's throwing deep to number 22. That is Jankowski, and the ball was a little overthrown, and that's incomplete, and it brings up 3rd and 5. Nice idea, but the execution not quite there.
Well, it's very tough when you roll right and throw left-handed.
It really is. It's tough.
And I'm surprised that by rolling right and throwing left-handed that he overthrew the receiver.
But what you're starting to see is when Bedford gets in a 3-wide look, you can expect sprint-out pass. They don't have a true drop-back system, so they're going to get on the perimeter and give their quarterback a run-pass read.
Clock obviously stops on the incompletion. 2:07 to go.
Those big guys up front, Marcus, are geared for the run, not the pass.
Once again, two receivers split out wide right for Shepard. He has wings on either side. Now there goes Jankowski, the wing in motion. And then a flag is a little too much movement, but it was Saline that was the extra movement. And that should be a 5-yard play, 5-yard gain for Saline, for Bedford. It is on that penalty, which is going to bring up 1st and 10.
That bails out the Bedford kicking Mules for having to give the ball up here with time left in the half.
The Mules get a first set of downs, 2:07 to go in the first half. The ball's now at the Bedford 40-yard line, and the Mules looking to maybe cut into this lead now with 2 minutes to go. We'll see if they pick up the pace at all, or maybe go a little bit more to the air. Two receivers to the right in the slot is Parth Patel, number 80. Tight eye formation behind Shepard, the quarterback. Shepard fakes the handoff up the middle, and there is the keep, no pitch. It's a keep. He makes one guy miss, gets out to the 49-yard line, out to the 50, and they are giving him the spot. Oh.
Well, they give him some good spots.
That is going to be a first down just at a 10-yard gain. So the ref on the near side said it was going to be second down. The ref at the spot made it a first down. So they gave him all 10 yards, 1st and 10 at the 50. I thought it was down. I thought it was down at the 48.
He was 6. This pass is intended for Dylan Barr and complete. Aaron Miller had covered for the screen. 3rd and 4 for Mules. Clock stopped. 1 minute, 7 seconds remaining in the first half.
High formation behind Shepard, 1 to 3 right, 1 going up, with a wing. Shepard keeps on the option to the right.
And Shepard keeps the ball. He's across the 30 to the 39-yard line. Brandon Carlson on the tackle. Chris Tarek also on the stop. First down Mules, clock running inside a minute. Post-possession, illegal block in the back against Saline during the run back. Saline takes possession and the interception by Tyrone Miller. 1st and 10 Hornets at midfield. And Bedford takes timeout. would like to thank the following patrons for providing tonight's team meal. Dr. Kelly's Orthodontics, Real Awakenings, Mount Pianos, and Kentucky Fried Chicken. The Hornet Football Club appreciates your support.
37 seconds to go. Saline trying to add to their 21-10 lead.
Team Saline from midfield.
Jackson, one running back to his
by
left.
Tyrone Miller. 37 seconds remaining in the half. Bedford 10. Hornets go 50 yards in 2 plays with 23 seconds off the clock. Go 28-10. William Green kicks off. That kick sails 7 yards deep in the end zone for an automatic touchback. First and 10 for the Mules, 14 seconds remaining in the first half. Shepard takes the ball, takes the head, snap rather, and takes a knee. The clock will run out here in the first half. The team's in under that and the score. Saline Hornets 28. Bedford Mules 10. And if I can bring to your attention to the 50-yard line, tonight we have a very special presentation. Last year, the SEC started a new competition that incorporated league standings for all SEC sports and academic performance for each school. The competition was separated into 2 divisions that matched the SEC divisions red and white. The winner of each division will be declared the SEC Board of Directors Trophy winner. It's a very prestigious award that takes into account all SEC sports and all athletes' GPA. Tonight, Assistant Principal from Bedford High School, Leslie Matrine, and the AD from Bedford, Mark German, are presenting Rob Wright, Saline's athletic director, and Julie Holder, Saline High School principal, with the 2013-14 SEC Red Board of Directors Trophy. Red competition with a score of 53 points. The next closest score is Hanover Pioneer with 40 points. Congratulations to all coaches and athletes here at Saline Schools. This time I would like to direct your attention to the 50-yard line, where U.S. Representative Tim Wahlberg and former coach Jack Crabtree have gathered. Tim Wahlberg is currently serving his third term in the United States House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. as the representative of South Central Michigan. In the 115th Congress, Tim serves on the House Education and the Workforce Committee as chair of the Workforce Protection Subcommittee. In addition, he serves on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Last week, Representative Wahlberg honored former Saline High School football coach and member of the High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame, Jack Crabtree, on the House floor for his dedication to the community, including over 30 years of mentoring and educating thousands of young men and women in Saline. Throughout his 4 decades at Saline High School, Coach Crabtree has left a lasting impression on his students, players, and staff. Congratulations to this well-deserved honor, Coach Jack Crabtree.
His infectious melodies and poignant lyrics are timeless. We continue our tribute with a medley of two of Billy Joel's greatest hits. Featuring trumpet soloist Ben Robson, here is My Life, and Only the Good Die Young. We begin our salute to our second piano rocker with drum major Matt Eby on the podium. Here's Elton John's 1973 hit, Crocodile Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the second annual Saline High School Alumni Band. Performing tonight are former band members representing over 50 years of Saline High School band's heritage and tradition. And a special shout out to our Saline alumni and former college thrillers. From Eastern Michigan, Jessica and Connor Potter. From the University of Michigan, Stacy Goodbye. And from Purdue, Gary Ciata. Please welcome Nate Mamman, director of Saline Marching Band from 1997 to present, as he leads the combined band in the swing classic from 1941, Chattanooga Choo Choo.
And get your 50-50 raffle tickets ready. We're about to have a drawing in tonight's 50-50 raffle. Tonight's 50-50 raffle drawing winner will win $400 $479 for the next 50-50 winner is going to go to the holder of ticket number 1605700. That's ticket number 1605700. If you're tonight's lucky winner, please report to the press box. Tonight's winner is Tom Ebert from Saline. Congratulations, Tom. We also have a website that fans can go to for the Chad Tough Fund to support Chad Carr. That website is victors.us/Chad Tough Fund. victors.us/Chad Tough Fund. If you want to make a donation to the Chad Carr Tough Fund. Shepherd keeps the ball. Even slaughtering the tackle. Gain of 4. Second down and 6. Shepherd keeps the ball. He's across the 35 and 36-yard line. John Watt made the tackle there. First down, Mules. And 7 for Shepherd. Sets up Bedford first and 10 for own 36-yard line. Shepherd the ball carrier. And Baldus made the tackle, gain a yard. Second down and 9. Shepherd keeps the ball. Travis Brown knocked him out of bounds. Gains to the 47-yard line. First down, Mules. Austin Strickland ball carrier. Ball flying out of John Watt and Chris Tarek on the tackle. Gain of 4, second down 6. Pitch goes to Austin Jankowski. Calrissian gets the tackle. On the Tyrone Miller. No gain on the play. Third down and 6 for Mules.
Little Thomas Shepard keeps the ball. He is hit in the backfield and dragged down by John Rock. Loss of a yard on the play. It's going to be 4th down and 7 for Mules. Brad Williams drops in punt formation for the Mules. And Saline takes timeout. Timeout, 7 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Your score, Hornets 28, Mules 10. Farmers, we believe in smarter coverage. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. You can find your local agent, Jim Thomas Perry, at 734-316-2068. We are farmers. We are insurance. Substitution penalty against Saline. Really a substitution. That's a 5-yard penalty. Make it 4th down and 2. Mules will bring their offense back on the field to go for it. 4th and 2 from the Hornet 45-yard line. Shepard keeps the ball, breaks the tackle in the backfield, drives forward across the 40, all the way to the 36-yard line. John Rock in on the tackle along with Sean O'Keefe. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. The 30 to the 27-yard line where Chris Tarrant made the tackle. 1st down, kicking Mules at the 27-yard line of the Hornets.
This pass is caught by Jordan Ball. That is Brown made the tackle at the 3-yard line. First down and goal for the Mules. 4 yards on that pass play from Shepherd to Ball. Sets up Bedford, first and goal. Shepherd the ball goal. Pressure now with Justin Strickland for the ball. He's down inside the 1-yard line. Gain of 2, second down and goal. Justin Strickland, a 1-yard drive. Justin Strickland scores from the yard out. Brad Williams will attempt to have the extra point. Could be good. 5 minutes, 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Score is now Saline 28, Bedford 17. Kick off for the Mules. Judd Caldwell and Stevie Price are deep for the Hornets. Big attempt was recovered by the Hornets, number 17, Jacob Bird. Bird recovers that onside kick, sets up the Hornets with great field position at their own 47-yard line. First and 10. For the Hornets. Dropped for a loss by Kyle Cahoon. Lost a yard, second down and 11. extra point is good. Hornets throw 53 yards in 2 plays, score on a screen pass from Josh Jackson to Kevin Gross, covering 54 yards for a Hornet touchdown with 4 minutes, 32 seconds remaining. In the third quarter, scores now Hornets 35, Bedford 17. And we have an iPhone that has been turned into a press box. An iPhone has been turned into a press box. You're missing your iPhone from your press box behind you. Green's kick sails into the end zone for an automatic touchback. First and 10 for Mules on the 20-yard line. Jared Manning, the ball carrier. Al Reiner made the tackle, gain a yard. Second down and 9. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Will Evan Peoples please report to the press box? Evan Peoples, please report to the press box. Thomas Shepard keeps the ball. Rizzi on the tackle, along with Grant Ellis. Gain of 4. Third down and 5. Eric Shepard, ball carrier. Tyrone Miller and Zachary Owens made the tackle. Gain of 6. First down, Mules at the 31-yard line. Quarterback Thomas Shepard keeps the ball. Chris Tarrant made the tackle. Gain of 3, second down 7. Austin Strickland, the ball carrier. Brian Picknell on the tackle. Gain of 3, third down and 4. Shepard cut the ball. Ryan Picknell and Chris Terrican on the stop. Gain of 2, it'll be 4th down and 1. And 1 for the Mules from their own 40-yard line. They're going for it. Quarterback Shepard keeps the ball, dives forward across the 40. We're at 41 or 42-yard line. That's enough for a Bedford first down. This was getting 2 yards on the play. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty with the 1st and 15. That marks the end of the 3rd quarter. The score is Saline 45, Bedford 17. And we want to introduce the 2014 Varsity cheerleaders. They are Alexia Bowden, Skylar Hoffman, Emma Peoples, Taylor Vaughn, Kelly Zielinski, Alexa DeFord, Brittany Fays, Rosa Hill, Emily Kazil, Chloe McCarthy, Brooke Copeland, Katie Tapia, Julian Welch, Anna Dineschik, Ryan Felton, Rachel Hervey, Julie Kriskowski, Billy Carrington, and Willie Sheska. And the coach of the cheer program is Kelly Vaughn. Shepard's pass was intended for Dylan Stewart, incomplete. Sean O'Keefe was giving the pressure from the quarterback first, that incompletion for Hornets. Make it 2nd down, 15 yards to go. play for Mules. Trevor's pass intended for Strickland incomplete. Stephen Slattery applied the pressure on the play. Forced that incompletion. Bring up 4th down and 12. Brad Williams checks into the game to drop in punt formation. Skylar Bowden is deep to the Hornets. Skylar Bowden is moving that number 122. Across the 34-yard line. Where Shepherd made a fourth-down run. Saline. Around 34-yard line. Just their second possession here in the second half. Jeff Parker, the ball carrier, he's tackled for a loss. Christian Ormsby. Lost a 5 on the play, 2nd down 15 for the Hornets. Jackson's pass intended for Cameron Cole incomplete. 3rd down and 15 for the Hornets. Pass intended for Cole incomplete. And the Shepherd broke up the play for Mules. We'll bring up 4th down for the Hornets. William Green will drop in punt formation for Saline. Jared Manny is deep for Mules. Manny called for a fair catch. The Mule 43-yard line, 1st and 10 for Bedford. Shepard's pass was intended for Dylan Barr. Harris Brown at cover for the Hornets. Second down and 10 for Mules. That kind of Shepard keeps the ball. Down block immediately. Ryan Ticknell also in on the tackle for the Hornets. Gain of 2. It's going to be third down and 8. Shepard's pass intended for Garrett Shepard, incomplete. Zachary Owings almost made the interception on that play. 4th and 8 for Mules. Brad Williams comes in to punt it away for Bedford. Kleiner is deep for the Hornets. He is hit immediately by Garrett Shepard. That brings a flag. Penalty for hitting the punt returner after he called for a fair catch. The Hornets will move this 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Tyson at quarterback for the Hornets. Pass is caught by Jeff Polka. Joey Shepard and Christopher Augustiniak made the tackle. Near 4, 2nd down and 6. And grows the ball carrier. Jacob Steenrod made the tackle. And the Bedford Bears are 47-yard line. 1st down Hornets. Also the ball carrier. He's across the 30 to the 28-yard line. Gain of 19. 1st down, Saline. Shepard made the tackle for Mules. Bedford calls timeout. the Saline High School Marching Band postgame show. Director of Bands Nate Franklin and his 200 members Saline High School Marching Band will take the field immediately following tonight's game. Shepherd keeps the ball. She across the 25 to the 27 and 28 yard line. Penalty flag comes into the backfield. Penalty is a dead ball. Personal foul against Bedford. Be a 15-yard penalty. Second down, 16 yards to go. Pass continues for Dylan Barr incomplete. Tyrone Miller and Travis Brown had coverage for the Hornets. 3rd and 16 for Bedford. No penalty flag comes from the defensive backfield. There's no flag. No flag for an illegal substitution on the Hornets. It remains third down, 16 yards to go for Mules on the 14-yard line. And Stankovic to attempt the extra point. And Tyson to hold, the kick is up. And the kick is good. 7 minutes or 11 seconds remaining in the game. The score is now Hornets 49, Mules 17. Wayne Green to kick off for the Hornets. Green sails that kick in the end zone for a touchdown. 8 kickoffs for Green, 8 touchdowns tonight. First and 10 for Mules on their own 20-yard line. Pass was intended for Garrett Shepherd, incomplete. Aaron Miller had coverage. Second down and 10 for Mules. Warren Charney, please report to the press box. Warren Charney, would you please report to the press box? This pass is intended for Dylan Stewart, incomplete. 3rd and 10 for the Mules. This pass intended for Dylan Stewart, incomplete. Aaron Mooney had coverage for the Hornets. We're on 4th down and 10. Mules are punting on the field. Brad Williams will drop deep to punt it away. Kyle Kleiner deep for the Hornets. Kleiner makes a fair catch at the 42. 1st and 10 Hornets. Ball carrier. He's across the 50 to the 45-yard line. Gain of 13 for Hubby. 1st and 10 Hornets. Now Cahoot made the tackle. Richard Hugby, the ball carrier. Nicholas Hicks and Brandon Murphy made the stop. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Joseph Weaver made the tackle. 1st down, Hornets. From the land about there for the Hornets. Gordon Preisner made the tackle. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. From the land on the carry. Across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Brandon Murphy and Nicholas Hicks made the tackle. Gain of 5, 1st down Hornets. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Snap goes over Schwarzenberger's head. He recovers it. Is swarmed over. Brandon Murphy made the stop in the backfield. Loss of 10 on the play. It's going to be second down and 20. Schwarzenberger's pass is caught by Grant Gunther. Matthew Phillips made the tackle. He was 3 in the play. Third down 17 for the Hornets. Schwarzenberger keeps the ball. He's across the 20 down to the 17-yard line. Jordan Weisner made the tackle for the Mules. 4th and 11 for the Hornets. From the land of our carrier. Drew Garcia made the tackle along with Keith Bedford. Teams to the 11. Ball will run down. 1st and 10 for the Mules. On the 11-yard line. Joseph Weaver is in the game at quarterback for Bedford. Quarterback Joseph Weaver keeps the ball. Patrick Ogden made the tackle. First down Mules at the 22-yard line. Joseph Weaver keeps the ball. His pass intended for Jonathan Hoskins, incomplete. Third down, 6 yards to go. Quarterback Joseph Weaver keeps the ball. He's tackled by Jacob Bird. Plays good for a Bedford first down. Clock will start. And wow! This one, the final score, 149. And it is 17. The Saline High School Marching Band postgame show. The director of bands, Nate Blackman, is outstanding 200-member Saline High School Marching Band. Will be taking the field immediately after the players are finished with the postgame handshake. The Saline Athletic Department would like to thank you for attending tonight's game and remind you to please drive carefully and arrive home safely.